Hello, wonderful Gazamians and our Steam followers. Welcome to another episode of the Gasam WAXTAN. The WAXTAN show is a program brought to you by the Gambian Student Association in Morocco. I am Sekou Demba, the Public Relations Officer of the association. So, in this episode today, we will be discussing with the Gasam Special Award Night to talk to us about the committee and what it entails. So without further ado, let me just allow my guest to introduce herself to you.
Thank you so much, Seiko. Thank you for having me. I am Tida Sise. I am the current chairperson of this year's Gasam Awards Night Committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tida, for the wonderful introduction. So, getting into the discussion proper, we would like you to tell us about the Gasam Special Award Night Committee, what it's about, and what are the mandate of the committee.
Well, the Gasam Awards Night came into being in 2020. It was an initiative of the Elite Gasam, and then its aim was to recognize the most active members and also Gasamians who have been participating in the events of the association. And it is an autonomous committee too. And our main goal is to honor and appreciate Gasamians by nominating and conducting elections for the different award categories.
Thank you very much. That is indeed clear. In short, the award night committee is there to sort out, deserving members of various categories, which we will come to. Members who have been sacrificing their time and, giving back to the association. To appreciate them and then recognize their effort, which is indeed great. So you've mentioned that the committee is an autonomous committee, which means we'll say it is an independent committee which is not under the executive, although they report to the executive, but it is independent on its decision and manner of operations, if I'm right.
Exactly. So the committee is an independent committee, and in as much as we do take recommendations from the executive and the general members, when it comes to the final say, it is it is the committee that decides it. And then the executive has no say when it comes to our decisions and our activities.
Wonderful. So the executive have no say in the work of the committee. It is an independent body. So moving on, I would like you to tell us about the categories of this year's award, because last year we have seen about 5 categories of awards. So what are the categories of this year's award night?
Yeah, so the awards category, we have 7 categories for this year's awards night. And then they are as follows. We have the most active members on the Gasam social media platforms. We have the most active members of the year. We have the Gasam players of the year. We have the Gasam writers of the year. We have the most influential Gasamian, the Ville of the year, and Gasam critic of the year. So last year we only had 5 categories because of the COVID. The player of the year and then the most active members of the year were excluded from the categories. But for this year, we have the 7 categories.
Oh, that's interesting. So we are going to break each of these categories into pieces so that people will get them understanding very well, and what are involved and what are the criteria to being nominated for each of these categories. So we start with the most active members of on the Gasam social media platforms. So can you kindly tell us you know what are the criteria for being nominated under this category?
Indeed, Seiko, it is very interesting. And for the criterias, as you asked, for the most active members on the social media platforms, so the criteria will be the reports from the media department, as they are responsible for the social media platforms. And as we all know, Gasam has like the Facebook, we have the Instagram, we have the YouTube, and then we have the WhatsApp. So an individual will be nominated based on the number of times they've liked, they've shared or commented on the various Gasam social media platforms. Let's say how active that individual is when it comes to the social media platforms. So that will be the criteria for the most active members of this category of the social media platform.
That's wonderful. So, Gazamians start, if you are not following our programs on Facebook, our post, and all the things that we post on the social media platform, the Instagram, please start following right from today because, everything, every share, every like, every comment is being recorded. So please, start following and sharing as much as you can and like also on the media platforms.
So all Gasamians are encouraged to participate. Let's all come out and participate.
The next one is the Gasam Players of the Year.
So for the player of the year, we'll be working hand in hand with the sports department. They will be nominating the members, the different individuals, and then they'll be writing reports on why they nominated that particular person. So they'll be the ones helping us in choosing the players of the year. And then we also just want to say that we know how difficult it is to for the players because most of the times they will have to leave their villes and come to Rabat or any other ville to participate. So the number of times to an individual leaves their ville to come participate will be considered also. But basically, we'll be working hand in hand with the sports department.
Indeed, indeed. So I can see that no one is left behind. Everyone, depending on your area of interest, you are involved in this award in one way or the other.
Exactly, as we know, we all have different interests, different passions, and I think everyone will feel included. Everyone already feels included in the various categories.
So, Gasamian, this is here for you. So, let's take it as ours and then, you know, develop the association. The next category we have is the Gasam most influential. So, what are the criteria involved in this category and how is the selection going to be?
So, for the most influential Gasamian of the year, I believe it's a very, very important category. So, the criteria for this category would be votes from the different villes. So, the different villes will conduct their elections at the ville levels. They would nominate an individual or individuals who are very influential in their particular villes, and so that will count as a criteria. Also, the individuals that are nominated from these different villes will be looking at their participation when it comes to the GASAM activities, which means the general level, the number of votes the individual or the nominees get from the general members too. As you know, last year, if you were around, we had conducted elections for the most influential Gasamian category, and then the votes count for 75%. So the general members too would have the chance to nominate or to elect the most influential Gasamian. So all of these things are part of the criteria. That is the votes from the different villes, the nominees' involvement in the association's activities, also the number of votes the nominees get from the general members.
So, I can see that these other categories kind of broad. Yeah, we have starting from the nomination at different variables. From there, you know, looking into those nominees, their participation in the association, and going to a general election at the general assembly level. So it's kind of you know a broader part, and the process kind too long. So members take note of all these things. Yeah, so even if you are in your ville and you are nominated as the most influential in that ville, when you come to the general members also, and your participation in the activities of GASAM, the association, will also be considered. So that we all need to double up our efforts, and yeah. So we are running out of time. We'll quickly look into the Ville of the Year and the GASAM Critic of the Year. So you can quickly tell us what are the criteria of those two, and also the writers of the year.
So for the writer of the year, the criteria is the number of articles written by an individual, the content of the article, and also the votes from the general members. The votes will go for 75%. And I just wanted to quickly say this. When it comes to this category, last year we didn't have a lot of nominees. And I'm sure that we all know that Zambians are very, very talented. So let us all please come out and contribute and participate. And the activities that will be considered for the writer of the year would be the articles that are posted on the website, on the Gasam website. So any article is welcomed, be it a poem, be it a letter, be it a story, everything would be considered and everything is welcomed. So we're encouraging people to write more and participate. And for the critic of the year, also the criteria would be constructiveness of criticism and language use. Let's see how disciplined was the language, because we are all students here, and in as much as we want the association to move forward, we will be considering the respect that was given. When you're criticizing something, it has to be respectful. So all of that will be considered. Also, the suggestions that are given after criticism, because you can't just criticize without giving suggestions. And also votes from the general members. So those are the criteria for the critic of the year. And when it comes to the Ville of the Year, I guess everyone is excited when it comes to the Ville of the Year. So the criteria for the Ville of the Year is the activities organized at the Ville levels, also the votes from the general members. So just to clarify more on the activities that are conducted at the Ville level. So basically the aim of Gasam is to bring Gasamians together. One of these aims is to bring Gasamians together. So all these activities that are organized would help to solidify the bond between, like, or among Gasamians. Also, we've seen most of the activities that are conducted in the Ville levels help to integrate the new students more, because when they come in, it makes them feel welcome in the family, and also to strengthen the bond. So these activities that are conducted at the Ville levels will be taken into consideration, and also how active is the Ville when it comes to GASAM activities. Let's say at the general levels, for example, we had the GASAM week already. So the reports from this social media department and then the cultural department also will be looking at the individuals who volunteer and the villes that they're from. So all of these things would be considered when it comes to the criteria for the ville of the year.
This is very, very clear. Um, with the right with regards to the writers of the year, I think Gazamians, all the platforms are available, to showcase your talent. Indeed, Gazamians, as you have already mentioned, Gazamians, we have talented people. You will not know until they come out. Moving on, the most active member of the year. So how do you determine the most active members of the year? What are the criteria involved in that?
A lot goes into nominations for this category, because we're looking at overall participation when it comes to the association's activities. Let's say the social and cultural committees will be making their reports, and they've already started doing that, because we've had the Gasam Week and then the Tobaski, and then we'll also be considering the media department's report, and also individuals' participation when it comes to their villes, how active they are in their villes, and then basically all of these things would be considered when it comes to nominations. So the identification of these individuals would depend on the reports from the Social and Cultural Committee, the media department, the view representatives, and also from our own observations when it comes to the individual's participation in in the association's activities.
I see indeed a lot goes here. A lot of partners are involved: the media department, the social cultural committee, the representatives, and so on. So members, continue, your participation in all the activities that are organized by the association. All will be considered in all of these categories, or in each of these categories that we have in the award. So that is clear, I guess. Tida, before, as we are running out of time, before we close the program, or before you give your final remark, I would like you to just give us the number of awards you are going to be we will be having, or the number of nominations in each of these categories. So you can quickly tell us that the number of awards in each of these categories.
So for this year, we want to increase the number of awards because last year we had two awards for the most active on the social media platforms, and then one for the rest of the categories. And then based on the recommendations we got from the general members, the general members feel that the number of awards that were given last year were limited. So we're working with the executive to see how best we can increase the number of awards, because we all know it's finance and everything else that goes into it. But for now, we'll get back to the general members on the number of awards. But the rest assured that all the recommendations are taken seriously.
Thanks for that, Tida. So because I mean, we all have equal, or let me say, you all have equal opportunities to, win any of these categories. So there's an intention of increasing the number of categories. So come up and, you know increase your participation. So Tida, now we have come to the end of the show. You can just give your final remarks and uh, words of encouragement that you would like to give to the members.
Well, thank you so much, Seiko, for having me. I just want to say thank you to all the Gasamians who've been participating so far, the Gasam Week, and all of the other activities. And also, just wanted to give a word of encouragement to each and every Gasamian. Please let's come out, let's rekindle our commitment to the association. Let us come out, participate, and volunteer, because there's much to learn from Gasam. And then by participating, you realize your talents more. Let's see, we've seen it like during the Gasam, the debate, the quiz, and all of the other activities. We've seen how much talent we have in Gasam. So let us all come out, participate. Let us complement also the executives' efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tida, for taking your time and to come and explain to us about the Gasam Special Award Night, all those things. It was indeed, great. And thanks also to your committee for the wonderful work that you are doing. So, Gasamian, I thank you all for following us, and we still, call on you to come and participate in this WAXTAN. The platform is here for you, and it will remain yours. We thank you all very much. I was your host, Sekou Demba. Thank you very much. See you next time.